Then coming to the next topic, that is proteins. So what are proteins? So proteins are nothing but it is a macromolecule consisting of one or more long chains of amino acid residue. So it is a macromolecule, it is an amino acid you know already, and peptide bonds you know. If it contains several peptide bonds branched or chain, so then you can call it as proteins. Hope we all know the term macromolecule, the meaning of the term macromolecule, polymer type molecule, correct, which is having molecular weight very high molecular weight. So there are different types of proteins, I mean there are structurally which are different, like primary structure, one with a secondary quaternary structure, different type, but anyway that will be out of syllabus, so I do not discuss all those. So basically as per the syllabus you just have to know proteins, what are the different types of proteins, how they are classified. So types of proteins based on functional properties, it is mentioned in the syllabus. Functional properties means what kind of properties they exhibit based on their function, what kind of work it is going to perform. Functional group, it is not functional group, it is functional properties, what kind of work it is going to perform in the body, that is called functional properties. So what kind of work it can perform, like it can act as antibodies, right, like you know there are various types of antibodies which are generated in the body in order to fight against various diseases. It can be immunoglobulin, so one such examples. You have another type is contractile proteins like actin and myosin, and enzymes, you know all enzymes are proteins, but not reverse is true 100%, but all enzymes are proteins, but not all proteins are enzymes. So you know different types of enzymes which are used generated in the body for various hydrolysis purpose, breaking down various molecules. So they are enzymes. One such functional, I mean they exhibit various functions, they do various functions, that is why it comes under functional proteins. And you have hormonal proteins, there are different hormones which are proteins like growth hormone, insulin, and you have structural proteins which are responsible for the structure of our muscles, or it can be some organs, it can be like keratin of skin and hair, and collagen of connective tissues. And you have storage proteins, various proteins responsible for storing the various fats, or it can be lipids, right, albumins, globulins, prolamins. And you have transport proteins like myoglobin and hemoglobin, you know this carries oxygen throughout the blood. So these are different types of proteins classified on the basis of functional properties. There are various ways you can classify protein, but as per the syllabus you have to classify based on functional properties. So then coming to protein denaturation, what do you mean by denaturation? It is something which is not normal, so it is totally abnormal, or the protein whatever that initial or the primary property is lost completely. So you can see denaturation process in which proteins or nucleic acid lose the quaternary structure, tertiary structure and secondary structure which is present in the native state. So they lose the native state property or the structure. How can you do it? By application of external stress or using some acid, concentrated acid, or some concentrated base or something like that. So protein loses its property. Okay, you can see that you have the coiled protein which is called a folded protein. It has lost its structure after denaturation, either by applying pressure or heat, or using some strong solvent like chloroform, or some concentrated acids. So you can do the denaturation. So these are the different ways in which protein will lose its property. It may be biological, chemical, whatever the property, or structural property, completely it will be lost. So these are the different ways, like heat, you apply heat, you heat it to high temperature, change in pH, make it either acid or a strong alkaline, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, or high salt concentration and heavy metals. I think this is very much known for all of us, because heavy metals what they do, or salt, they just bind with the proteins, they make complex with the proteins. That's what happens in the color formation of the proteins. You know, it changes its color by making complex with certain heavy metals, and you know that's how heavy metals like mercury and some metals like arsenic, they are all very much poisonous, we call it as. Why? Because they make complex with proteins and totally disturb the structure of proteins and properties of protein. That's how protein will lose its authenticity and the person will doom at the end. So this is what happens. So you can see the change in temperature, pH, salt concentration, all these things are responsible for the denaturation of protein. It's a serious problem of concern, of course, because denaturation of protein is nothing but denaturation of our body, right? When we take some toxic metal, it will start making complex with the proteins present in the body, and it will destruct the part by part. This is what can happen, the consequences of denaturation of protein. So now we have several tests for proteins. So one by one we will discuss. There are various tests available in your syllabus. Only there are 3 tests: Biret test, Ninhydrin test, and Millens test. So Biret test, I think very simple one. You just take the protein sample. Protein sample can be the white part of the egg, which when you take in a test tube, add a few drops of NaOH, shake it and add copper sulphate, very dilute solution of copper sulphate, shake it, and you will get violet color. Okay, the formation of this violet color will indicate the presence of proteins in the sample. So what is the reaction taking place? Any protein you take, it contains amide bond, you know. This amide bond is going to make copper complex. Okay, this the copper complex is violet in color. You know, the color of copper solution, we know it is blue in color. So here you may misunderstand that when you add drop by drop this blue solution of copper sulphate, you may think that a protein is present, but blue color is because of copper sulphate, not because of protein. You should get deep violet color. If you don't get immediately, you can slightly heat it, so that you know the formation of copper complex, or you can slightly cool it sometime. Copper complex will be favored. So you will get this copper complex, this kind of complex based on different amino acids. So this complex will be responsible for the violet coloration. Then you have Ninhydrin test using Ninhydrin reagent. So here you get again a kind of purple color. It is not violet now, bluish purple. Sometimes you won't be see proper purple, it will be kind of bluish compound formation. So what you do, you add Ninhydrin drop by drop to protein solution and heat it, boil it, and then you can cool it. Then during the time of boiling only you will start seeing the formation of this bluish purple color. Okay, this indicates the presence of alpha amino acids. This is not answered by all proteins. The proteins which have alpha amino acid or alpha amino acid itself will show this bluish purple color. So what is Ninhydrin reagent? It is 2,2-dihydroxyindane 1,3-dione. It is basically a indane molecule. Okay, CO here you can see CO. This Ninhydrin orange colored crystals you will get. So you can directly add that in water and add protein, or make a solution and keep it. So this exists in the form of diol and keto. So because of this structure. So what happens when you add proteins or amino acid, especially alpha amino acid, it will form this kind of complex or this kind of conjugated compound which is responsible for its purple color. So with the elimination of carbon dioxide, other amino acids apart from alpha amino acids won't give this complex, because the removal of carbon dioxide will be difficult. So this complex is answered, or it is formed only by the compounds which have alpha amino acids. Okay, this is what you find. Please note this point, proline will give kind of yellow orange product, it won't give violet or blue color complex, sorry, purple or blue color complex, it gives a kind of orange coloration. So no amino acid, if there is no alpha amino acid, then you don't get test you will be having slightly orange or kind of colorless you will get after boiling. So, but purple or bluish to purple you will get if the amino acid is present, alpha amino acid is present. If proline is present, proline is again an alpha amino acid, you will get yellow orange product. Hope this test is clear. And then going further you have Millen's test. Millen's test is just addition of Millen's reagent, then you heat it. It is answered by only those compound having tyrosine. The proteins which have, note this point, it is answered by tyrosine proteins or amino acids. So, when you take this amino acid, so make sure I mean when you have these 2-3 steps, make sure what they indicate, what they confirm. So, this confirms the presence of alpha amino acid, that is Lin-Hydrin test, and Biret test is mostly common for all amino acids and amides, I mean basically for all the proteins. So, even urea is also answering this test very commonly, and this is mainly for tyrosine compound. So, you have reagent and then you add Millen's reagent, I mean the compound plus Millen's reagent, mercuric sulfate plus HNO3 is Millen's reagent, then you heat it. If you get red pink color, then amino acid, that is tyrosine, is present. If you have red pink color, then proteins containing tyrosine. See, note this, it is answered by amino acid which is tyrosine or the proteins which has tyrosine in that molecule. Okay. Basically for tyrosine it is. In both these cases you will get red pink color. You can see the Millen's positive test, presence of tyrosine. You can see the reaction here. Tyrosine, when you react with mercuric nitrate and nitric acid, so it forms mercuric nitrate. This is the proposed structure, but as I get for the possible formation of brick red product or whatever that coloration kind of brick red or slightly red color you get, this may be because of this whatever he has proposed with the spectroscopic evidence. Okay, these are all about 3 tests for proteins. So, these are some of the references. You can read the specified books for organic, I mean the general books for organic chemistry, wherein you find proteins and amino acid, books like Morrison and Boyday and Finar, and there are various very good books. Ball and Ball you can read, but limited it is contained. Okay, then there are various e-learning materials like NPTEL classes, Khan Academy and EG Pathshala, and please go through them to attain better knowledge. Thank you for watching.